Please find a comfortable posture, a balance between ease and steady, being steady, yet not rigid. We're trying to relax, we're trying to accept, we're trying to become okay with. And that process encourages us, requires us to sometimes weather turbulence. Sometimes we're having physical discomfort in our body. Sometimes we're having an emotional upheaval. It can become a physical disturbance. Feel very warm, agitated. Sometimes that turbulence is in the form of just thoughts, thoughts that we don't like having to listen to. But on this path, we are sort of seeking or making a way for this presence, this sensation of just feeling at deep peace and ease all the time in our life. You just proposition someone with that, they're going to think that that's not even maybe possible. And so you already must have some disposition to even consider such an undertaking. So tell somebody, yeah, you can live your life free of stress. You can just be really present and engaged and loving, caring, giving. And you don't have to deal with this constant sense of wanting to be in control or manage or fight for your own. And that's like a real way to exist in this world. You tell probably 99% of the world that, and they might not believe you. They certainly might not believe that is for them. They may even think you're a little crazy. Yet here we are. Something inside says that might be possible. That might be possible. And so I'm willing to invest a little bit of time and energy to see if it's possible, to see if it comes true. And then almost immediately, as soon as we start this undertaking and have any sort of real gumption, engagement with it, we are immediately confronted with a bunch of turbulence. Now, I think that turbulence was already there. That inner world was already just filled with caves and caverns and mountain peaks, jagged rock. It was already there. And as we start to look at it, we're like, where can I land? Start to survey the inner landscape. Where could I land? Lo and behold, at some point we start to ask, what exactly is it that's going to do the landing? Do I need to get my feet on that surface? maybe life can just unfold and happen and have all those caves and caverns and mountaintops and jagged rock. And that can be peaceful. It does not require a landing. When you look at new mountains, they're still like thousands of years old, hundreds of thousands of years old. They often look like jagged rock. But when you look at very, very old mountains, they're usually smaller and they've been covered with dirt and then trees and forests. They're not as big because they've filled in, they've smoothed out. If you leave the inner world alone, just observe it. You'll watch it smooth itself out. And that's life, in my experience. That's practice, in my experience. Leave it alone. Stop trying to solve the problem. Instead, see that there isn't a problem. It's just an unfoldment, moment to moment. And these understandings, these insights, they help us realize I don't have to land on that jagged rock. I don't have to figure it out. And so we just sit, we just exist for periods of time. And we start to get in touch with the fact that it is unfolding and we are helpless to that unfoldment process. This is the acceptance. This is the trust. And as we find ease in that process, in that fact of life, this great wave of love and understanding can overtake us. And as a matter of fact, that great wave of love and understanding, it is overtaking us always. When we feel that turbulence, the pressures of life, that is the great wave pushing your mess up against itself, clearing out one's consciousness, emptying oneself for this presence, for this understanding. It may take a little while, it could take a long while. It makes it hard to sort of take on this undertaking for a person who's like, oh my gosh, you start reflecting on yourself, sitting quietly, trying to listen to your inner world, and it just seems like it's filled with muck. It is only for a rare and lucky few. Part of what makes us lucky is an additional ingredient that we can't really do much else. We've seen enough, we've done enough. We don't have any better options. Nothing good on the television. Lost interest in some of those other activities I used to distract myself with. The normal ambitions, our culture and times just don't seem to appeal like they used to, or maybe they never appealed to us. And so, what else are you going to do? What else is there to do? Keep busy with what? This quality of futility starts to swell and rise within us. We start to realize a lot of the stuff we're doing is pointless. That doesn't mean we don't do it. Sometimes we do. That doesn't make it not pointless. And so that surrounding energy can almost feel a little bit dull, numbing, but it's a numbing to the external gratifications. It's a numbing to the sort of external pleasure reward process. We start to grow detached from it because it's not providing this satiation that we're seeking. Now, this is not original idea here, folks. You just find this all over the planet, time and space. Masters have been saying these ideas. That there is this ever loving embrace that feels otherworldly because it is not coming from anything out in our world. And we are seeking that. We are desiring to be desireless of worldly gratification. We don't need to force it. It just becomes apparent, obvious. The things that get people going, they just don't make me stir. And so we become optionless. To look at the menu of life and say, no, thank you. There's nothing on this menu I'm interested in. And if there is, order it until you figure it out. It does not satiate this spiritual quality that makes us do this practice, that calls us to this practice. And as we start to really come to terms with it, you get the whole menu. That's what's so fascinating. You get the whole menu. Upon rejecting, you become full. That fullness is like a wave, an embrace that surrounds us. It permeates our entire experience. Beingness, consciousness, bliss. It is readily available. It is always available. It is an inexhaustible resource of peace. And you don't have to take my word for it. You are witnessing it. You are witnessing it in this very moment. You may also be witnessing other things. And so it's a little bit muddy. You may also be witnessing things out in the world, sensations of the body, turbulence. But as you disregard the external, your inner regard for existence, beingness, consciousness, bliss shines forth. And it is so complete and encompassing. We don't leave. We just examine and fall deeper and deeper enmeshed in it. Realizations start to accrue that you can have the entire menu. And that there's no reason at all to leave that presence. And so our sitting time, our quiet time starts to extend into every moment of our life as we take the humble heart into every aspect of our day. But it's during this time that we get very close, very clear on what it is we've been seeking. But look as though you have already found. Look as though the keys were in your pocket the whole time. There is no distance to travel. This beingness, consciousness, bliss, it never left you. And everywhere you search, every single place you search, you will find it. Accept that. Try to accept that. Every single moment. It is never lost to you. As you notice turbulence, you can see it. You can observe turbulence trying to land in caves, caverns, mountains, and jagged rock. Stop trying to land. You just keep soaring, letting aspects of your inner landscape move past you and realize there's no need to land. You exist vast in the empty space. What exactly is it you're trying to land? And as you exist in this vast, empty space, feel, feel what it is to be that free, that open. Let the world tether to it. Let the feelings in your face, in your throat, in your torso, your hips and legs, and all the sensations of the body tether to it. Let them be held and supported in their place. In this great witnessing, in this overwhelming tidal wave of presence. See all your inner and outer experience intricately held in the expanse of your being. There is no details to get lost in. Your presence is all encompassing, all embracing. Nothing is left out. Nothing is left out. You can hold in your presence all the turbulence, every single aspect. There is no duality, there is no conflict. All things, all objects, every aspect of this world is held in the embrace of beingness, consciousness, bliss. Recognize, recognize this intangible virtue. Feel it's right there. Wrapped around everything.
relax from the practice.